Hi, Jenny here. Try to move so I don't have a plant growing out of my head this time. Right, Bill? Today is Thursday, June 1st. So we're starting another month. So this month is done. May. Whoosh, look at all those X's. So I had my 5th chemo treatment yesterday, and that went well. It's pretty usual, interesting. So it won't be too noisy. The yard guys, or our maintenance people, are out cutting and blowing. So I can hear that in the background a little bit. They should be done with my place already. Anyways, so, yep, yesterday we went to the clinic. And again, it seems like these last 2 weeks, it's been a long time since I've been there. And I guess I also had such a good 2 weeks that, so part of it on my way there, kind of was last time I cried. I get a little emotional like Tuesday, the day before. I start thinking about my Wednesday treatment and all that and try to let it go. This time Tuesday was pretty good. Monday night I started thinking about it. I'm like, nope, put it off. It's not till Wednesday. Tuesday I was good. And on Wednesday morning I was a little off. I think because also the previous 2 days I had been a little lightheaded. And so I'm like, I hope I wasn't going to be lightheaded yesterday. And I was getting my needle in and stuff. I was hoping I wasn't going to pass out, which I didn't. But yeah, so just, on the way in, again, it's the emotional roller coaster. So I also, pray to all my angels, my relatives, all on the other side, asking them to be with me and surround me. And everybody has their own beliefs. That's my belief. The angels will be around me, and I know when they're near, it makes me cry. So it seems to happen on our ride in that I start crying. So my husband's like, are you okay? Are you in pain? What's going on? And I'm like, no, I guess the angels are near, letting me know that they will be with me and surrounding me and helping me through this. So got it out of the way. That was okay. So the time we got there, I was good. Like I said, also thinking again, I'm still going through this. It's been many months already. I think we started the chemo in March. So it's been a few months. It's been a long time. So again, I keep thinking, yeah, I'm still doing this, still going through it, still treating the cancer to, help make it go away. So anyways, but it was good. We got there, I said I got my needle in, and then after I was good. And the nurse took us back, weighed me. I gained 4 pounds. Woo! I was excited about that. trying to hold steady around that 130 pound mark. So I lost a couple pounds, 2 pounds last time, and so now I'm up 4. So that was good. So I had a good eating week, which, again, trying to, hold steady here. And so it was good. The doctor came in and we talked, and he is happy with the way things are going. So we talked about how the last treatment was the best one yet ever, that my symptoms were the least intense. So I said I still had them, but it was good. I had a really good 2 weeks. So he said, all right, how about we just keep this treatment the same? I'm like, yeah, sounds good to me. That's what I was thinking, because again, even though we keep it the same, the symptoms may still get more intense, because with each treatment, they usually get more intense. So he was happy with that too, that I was, also on the same page as him. We're going to do that. And that's it. He said my blood numbers all looked really good, and he thought that I was doing really well. And so I thought, okay, I'm like, well, is there any questions for me? I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to clarify. I'm like, are we doing 8 treatments? I said, I know when we first talked, we talked about doing at least 6, and depending on how I was doing, we would do up to 8. And I said, I kind of want to know, and I don't want to know, which is why I haven't clarified before this. I haven't asked. And he said, yeah, well, he goes, we'll see how it's going. We'll see how this treatment goes this time, and then we'll see how the next treatment goes, and we'll just basically take it treatment by treatment and see, how far we get. So also good to know. So all right, fine, that was good. Got in there. My seat was available. People do, when you're in school, in the classroom, you get your seat. That's your seat. In college too, you have a seat. You don't want anybody taking that seat. So in the treatment room, I've heard other people say that too. My neighbor's sister had gone through treatment, and she told me once too that they got there they were happy their seat was open. Just get comfortable with that. So I got early enough in the morning, my seat was open, so happy about that. Got there. There had been one other person in my Bay Area I said, it's 3 bays, but it's all open that you can kind of see all over. They do have curtains around if you want to do that. So a couple of the people like in my area, they had drawn their curtains. I'm fine. I like watching and seeing what's going on. And because of Memorial Day happening on Monday, they had to bump all the Monday people throughout the rest of this week. So I know they mentioned something, I heard the nurses talking, and they said that like yesterday they had 30 patients all before 1 p.m. And yesterday was busy too, more people than I've ever seen before. We had at least like 5 people per bay, there's 6 chairs per bay. So we had five in our bay. When all of a sudden it was coming and going, I think everybody had pretty much, just one gal that was there before me, but everybody else kind of left before I did. But, and because they also only have one pharmacist that has to mix up all the drugs for everybody. And so that took some time. So this is also the first time we've seen a couple of grumpy patients. There were 2 in our area that were a little like, what's going on? Why am I waiting so long? And I knew last time we were there, they talked about that they had lost a pharmacist, so they were down to 1. And so it took a little extra time last time, maybe 20 minutes. This time it was taking longer, but I got my anti-nausea meds in, that went fine, and had to wait a little while for the Oxaliplatin, about half an hour. And then they got that, and they got that in me, and that went fine. And then I had to wait an hour for the pump. So, of course, side effects kicked in. For about 15 minutes. I think I went to the bathroom by the time I came back. I'm like, yeah, the hands were starting to tingle. And I sat down, and within a minute, my calves started cramping. I'm like, oh boy, okay, that's going to be difficult for me to walk if I'm just going to sit here and cramp. So I'm going to try walking and walk. So I basically paced the floor for 45 minutes. And one of the nurses asked my nurse about what's going on, and he's like, we're waiting on the pump. And he was so good about it. I could tell he kept going back in the back room, by the pharmacy to see if my pump was ready yet. And kept apologizing, and I'm like, it's okay, we get it. You can only do what you can do, so beyond your control. So that was all right. I paced, I moved my hands. And then at one point, I told him as he came over again, I kind of apologized, and he was going to go help somebody else. And I told him, yeah, it's okay. I said, my calves started cramping up. And so I'm like, if I sit down, they'll kind of seize up, and it'll be really hard to walk out of here. So I'm just going to keep walking. And he's like, did you say your cancer is cramping up? What? And I'm like, no, my calves. And he's like, oh, okay, I got you. And he's like, all right, well, that's okay. He goes, yeah, when I get your pump and all that, he goes, if you need to walk, you need to just, so he's like, I got you. I can do it standing up. He's like, I feel like I'm on a boat. We'll do it together. It's going to be okay. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be okay. Can be able to stand and, get it all done. But, so yeah. The pump finally came, and he got me all hooked up, and I was good. And it's funny because I'm doing this too to work my hands so that they wouldn't cramp up and all that, which they kind of felt like they would, but they didn't, thank God. But the tingles were just there, didn't stop. They were just there. But walking to the car was good, even a little bit of a breeze, but I didn't really have any nose tingles or anything either. I got to the car, and it's warm out here now. It got up to 78, 80 or something outside yesterday. So the car was warm. We left at 1 o'clock. Got there at like 8:15. So the car had been sitting there a while, all nice and warm. Get in the car, it's nice and warm. And I don't know if it was the warmth or what, but my hand tingles completely went away. And it was just like, wow, okay. Didn't really have any face stuff. Last time I know going home, I had a little bit of numbness in the face. After I got home, I had a little bit, but again, not so much. Like if I yawn or something, I could feel it. Cheek tingles, not with, I had lunch right away when I got home, didn't have it. Later on, like at dinner time, had some pizza and all that, I could feel a tiny little bit. But really, again, nothing. Nose was running a little bit. That's the side effect I get. Sneezing, and then burping. I mentioned that before, like I get gassy, I get that really full feeling. So again, by this time it was good. It was only like 5 minutes before the end of the IV instead of 15. But I had that full feeling. But I'm like, I'd already burped a couple times while I was there and still feeling okay, moving around, try to work up, I was walking, burping. And then even after I got home, and I told my daughter later that night, I'm like, I've burped more today than I have in like the last 2 weeks. And during the last 2 weeks, I was kind of noticing, I'm like, I'm not burping so much. And if anything, if I did, it was like, you know, a burp would come up and it was like, oh, I burped. Whereas on treatment day, I get this so full feeling that it's like, I have to release, I'm like, I have to burp and I can't burp. So I'm, like I said, do my little chair calisthenics, whatever. I'm like moving, trying to work it out. But in any case, so I don't know, in hindsight, I don't know if the walking helped thwart my calf tension, that because I walked for 45 minutes, that kind of helped either move stuff through, that it didn't settle anywhere or whatever. It was good. A little bit last night, I could feel, they felt a little tired at some point, legs felt a little weak, but I did not have the cramping. I was up all yesterday. Even, you know, Wayne couldn't believe it. He kept looking. I was like, he'd be at the computer, he'd look over at me and he goes, you're still sitting. You're still, I'm like, I didn't nap. I read. I pretty much did come, I just sat on the couch and I did some reading. I did fall asleep for about 10-15 minutes while I was reading and all that, and then I was good. In fact, I wasn't even tired last night going to bed. I sleep on the couch. There's a couple nights when I have, as you can tell, I'm hooked up, got my pump on me. So I just sleep on the couch because it's easier, and that way I don't roll over on my right side. I can stay pretty much on my back or left side. And I wasn't tired last night, so it ended up, I think I turned off the lights at 1 a.m. and then I was still kind of rolling around awake, you know, or laying there trying to fall asleep for 2 a.m. My alarm went off and, you know, get some Advil in me. So I did that. But in any case, I had a good eating day. Today I feel good. Hands feel a little tired. So they're not tingly, they're not crampy, but I could, like, trying to type or trying to write, my handwriting is like, ooh, kind of messy. But yeah, they don't feel as strong, but that goes away. What else? And the other thing is, while I was there, they have snacks at the treatment place. So they have drinks of, you can have water or coffee, and then Ensure, apple juice, orange juice, ginger ale. And one of the other gals wanted an Ensure this time, and he was like, oh, you want the kind you had last time? And they actually have butter pecan. So it's a new flavor. I haven't seen it. He's like, yeah, they get samples in and stuff of different stuff, and then obviously maybe people like it, they'll find it in the store and buy it, but see if that's in the store or not. I haven't tried it. I should try it. It was cold, so I couldn't drink it yesterday. I wanted it to warm up to room temperature. When Cassie and I went to Meijer last week, there was a whole big shelf of a lot of Ensure products, but it was a lot of chocolate, vanilla. We found a dark chocolate, which we bought, but I didn't see any other flavors. But let's see. Yeah, that tastes like butter pecan ice cream. That's good. Add that to my repertoire. See if we can find that in the store or not. But anyways, that's it for this update. Can't think of anything else. I'm feeling good. So good. In fact, this time is almost even better than last time, which is really surprising because, again, of how the side effects usually get worse, and we kept it the same, the treatment dosage the same. So that's awesome, because next one will be number 6. And again, if we can keep that the same, that if we go for the 8, so it can do the most good, help shrink that tumor, get it gone, that would be great. So thank you very much again for your prayers. I put a post out there yesterday. Again, I know you guys are praying for me. And I know my YouTube family, you're also putting out those prayers and everything for me. I appreciate it so much. I believe it really does help. So making everything go well, I will take it. Love you guys. Keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.